QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. But with the COVID-19 restrictions, we've been having virtual meetings, and we use the Google Meets system for our virtual meetings, and access to that website. We list that on our website, W0TX.org, or we have an email that goes out that those are interested in joining each month. Each month they can receive that information through their emails. So if you're interested in that, you might check into that, or just get the address off our website, because we're glad to have you join us. Our next meeting will be on January the 20th, which will be this coming Wednesday. And an Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. And this session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.w0tx.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. And again, with the COVID-19 restrictions, we don't have as frequent of test locations available as we have in the past, but we try to hold those as often as we can. It requires that we get special facilities where we can actually separate the people taking tests sufficiently and meet the COVID requirements. So we usually will put that information out here on this net, plus we put that on our website. Plus we have some other hams in the club here that are associated with other groups which are holding VE tests, and so they'll pass that information on as well. So, but if you do have some questions, you can certainly contact our VE team lead, Tom Koshalski. His call sign is KC2CAG, and his phone is 720-284-1911. Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TOR serving as net control. Are there special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. For regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club Net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz field repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are there visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight? If so, please call now.
Kilo Echo Zero Charlie Kilo India. I'm Linda of Lakewood, and I'm brand new to ham radio. I've had a license for 6 years, never used it, but I have so much to learn, so I'm interested in anything I can learn.
And at control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. Kilo Echo Zero, Kilo Charlie India. Linda, welcome to the net, and welcome back to the hobby of amateur radio. Glad to hear you. Have good signal going into the repeater, so that's all working fine. And glad to hear that you decided to get back in and join us in the hobby. I have no idea what sort of questions that you might have and such, but as those questions arise, we certainly would welcome you to pose those here on this net or on our learning net that's held each Wednesday night except the meeting night. And they'd be happy to, or we would be happy as well to answer those questions and help you along. But first thing is I certainly would encourage you to hang in there and and not let it fall by the wayside again. I think you'll find a lot of enjoyment in the hobby and chance to learn a lot of the ins and outs of amateur radio. So welcome back, and like I say, if you have any questions or you need some help, please give us a shout. That's what the hobby's all about, and all I can say is please don't be reluctant to ask. We've all gone through the startup in the hobby before, so we know what it's like, and a lot of questions and areas to get misled and such. So please call on us if you need some help. We'd be glad to help out in that regard. And just out of curiosity, how did you happen to locate our net?
When I first got my license, I went to Denver Radio Meeting Clubs and joined, and never really kept up with it. But I really need to find out how to find an Elmer that could help me.
All right, we'll throw that request out here on the net and see if we've got some volunteers. Another good place to ask that question would be as well on our Wednesday night learning net that we have, which is held on these same frequencies. And that starts at, I believe it's 7 p.m., I'm sorry. And certainly could help you there. But I think there might be somebody here on the net tonight that would be glad to help support what questions and help that you might need. So let's see whether or not we get any takers. And if you have any questions in regards to our Wednesday night net, we'd be glad to help you with that as well. So, does that sound acceptable?
Sounds great to me.
All right. right. I certainly would invite you to join us any Sunday night on this net. We'd be glad to have you join us. So please feel welcome to join us. All right. Before I move on, do we have any other visiting radio amateurs who'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club net tonight? If so, please call out. Next, I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in. I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Kilo Delta Zero, Delta Uniform Juliet. I was going to extend a little bit of my knowledge to her as an Elmer for digital voice, so if she's ever wanting to get into that, I'd be more than happy to answer questions with that on the Learning Net. KD0DUJ, back to net.
N0 ETV, Lance, Aurora, no traffic. November 5, Charlie Kilo, Greg in Denver, no traffic.
November 0, Delta Bravo Sierra, Dawn in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Delta 0, Golf Bravo X-Ray, Brad, Lakewood, no traffic. KB0 CHT, Jeff in Lakewood, with traffic.
November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim in Littleton.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Bravo Alpha Kilo, David, Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Charlie 0, Charlie Zulu, Bob and Thornton.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy in Denver.
Kilo Alpha 5, Delta Kilo Sierra, Ken in Arvada.
W0TX Repeater.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KD0DUJ Chris, N0ETV Lance, N5CMK Greg, N0DBS Don, KD0GPX Brad, KB0CHT stand by here a minute. right, let me pick up where I left off here. KB0CHD Jeff with traffic, K0DPR Paul, N0EYZ Jim, KF0 PAK David, and KC0CZ Bob, KF0 AFQ Troy, and KA5DKS Ken. Make one more call for radio amateurs. This call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now. All right, we'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
N0 GWM, Leon Lakewood.
Kilo 6 Hotel, Juliet Victor, Tom Arvada, no traffic.
W0TV Jerry Westminster.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo, AA0 JK with traffic.
All right, Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. N0 GWM Leon, K6HJV Tom, W0GV Jerry, and AA0JK Fred with traffic. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
November 0 Golf Tango Golf, Kurt in Denver.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. N0 GTG Kurt. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call out.
Kilo 0 Lima Papa Romeo, Lanier in Inglewood. Welcome, Linda, from one YL to another, and I will always be available to answer your questions. Back to net K0 LPR.
Whiskey 0 Lima Foxtrot, Orlin and Golden, no traffic, over.
Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0 Mike Golf Tango, Don and Aurora.
Whiskey 0 Mike Delta Kilo, Matt in Denver.
Kilo 0 Lima Alpha India, K0 LEI, Larry in Lakewood. W0N, Dave in Lakewood.
Kilo 0 Kilo Papa Sierra, K0 KPS, Kevin Lakewood.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0LPR Lanier, WW0LF Orland, KE0OSI Tom, KE0MGT Don, W0MDK Matt, K0LAI Larry. We had a blast of noise in there. I don't know what that was. I could not pick up any voice modulation or anything, just with hash. So if you tried to check in, there's something going on. I'm not sure what. And next I had WG0N Dave and K0KPS Kevin. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now. All right, we'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stanton, Denver, no traffic.
Kilo 0, Romeo Charlie Whiskey, Robert in Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WB2SHR Stan, K0RCW Robert, N0TRP Jim, and KE0RVC John. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Quebec Delta Golf, KB 9er, QDG, Carl, Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. KB9er, QDG, Carl. We'll move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call out.
W0CIV. Kilo Alpha 0, Victor Bravo Alpha, Curtis and Lakewood clear. And the lady was looking for advice. I got lots of that. It's all free. It's all free and worth every penny of it.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. KA0VBA Curtis. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
This is W2 Mike Alpha Lima, Mike in Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0MAL Mike, and I heard a CIB, but I didn't get a prefix in our name. Could you come back with it? It's kind of weak.
Yeah, WD0 CIB, Charles in Denver.
Alrighty, got a better copy that time. WD0 CIB Charles. And let me open the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K1 DBC Drone and K0OIT Mike. Could be a chance for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. And at this time, I'd like to invite our club president, Jerry Bill Howard, W0GB. Cover any business. Go ahead, Jerry. The net is yours.
All right, Jim. Well, thanks for doing the net. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and staying well. One thing I can think of to report here is that anybody that uses Echolink, I know we've had ongoing issues with the system, so more than likely tomorrow, I think, we've got some new equipment that's going to go in. We've got a new Alinco UHF radio and a West Mountain radio, no mic, they call it, interface unit between the radio and the computer, and another laptop and software. So I think if not tomorrow, it'll be within the next few days that'll get put in. It was tested today, and so if you're an Echolink person, you can look forward to that, and that should get the system back up running reliably. And we thank Scott Enzer OBA for doing the tech work on it. So that's the only thing I could think of to report that's happened recently. Anyway, that's all I can think of. So back to you, Jim, and again, everybody, thanks for checking in. W0GV.
Right, thanks, Jerry. One thing I guess we ought to mention, I did mention that we had a virtual club meeting coming up this Wednesday, and the technical portion of that monthly meeting is going to be done by Robert White, K0RCW, and he's going to be talking about the new ICOM 705, which is a QRP HF and VHF UHF portable software-defined radio. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what Robert's found out with that. He always gives us a good presentation. It sounds like it's a neat little package weighing about 2.4 pounds, and it looks like it'd be a dandy radio to take on backpack trips or any of that sort of thing. So puts out up to 10 watts using external DC source, and has a battery pack, and you can put up to about 5 watts, I guess, using that battery pack. So anyways, Robert's going to tell us about that this coming Wednesday, and so I'm interested to see how that comes out. Like I say, Robert always gives us a good presentation, so look forward to that, Robert. And just wanted to pass that on. I think that's probably one thing that kind of skipped Jerry's mind there. So pass that on to everybody. And let's see. I had KB0CHT, Jeff. You had traffic. Go ahead, and that's yours.
Thanks, Jim. This is KB0CHT. I just wanted to mention for Linda's benefit that there is an Elmer session also before the monthly meeting each month. So the meeting will be January 20th. The Elmer session will start at 1800 Mountain Time, 6 p.m. It's about 45 minutes of just kind of free-form Q&A. There's no agenda, so any questions you have, please join us and ask away. There'll be plenty of folks to answer your questions. And then the regular meeting starts at 1900 Mountain. That's all I have. Thanks, Jim. Back to Net, KB0CH2. And Jim, W0GV. Yeah, I forgot. I'm glad you picked that up. I had it right on the screen about our meeting and then just blew right over it. So thanks for jumping in there. W0GV.
Not a problem, Jerry. Glad to help. And Jeff, thanks for that. I appreciate that as well. That's another place Linda can get some help. And in case somebody checked in a little later didn't hear, we had Linda check in as a visitor, Kilo Echo 0, Kilo Charlie India. And she's had a license for about 6 years, but has not been active. So she was looking for some Elmer help. So anyone there that's out here that's checked in tonight that would like to help her out, I know that K0LPR Lanier has already offered to help as well. So she'd be glad to get some help. And let's see, next on the list I had AA0JK. You had some traffic. Go ahead, Fred.
Good evening, everyone. I was kind of hoping that Tom would be in there to make an announcement there for our VE session that we had yesterday. We had 5 individuals there who got their technician license. Congratulations to them. Be hoping to hear them on the air here shortly as they get their call letters. But we had a great facility made available to us there, provided by Troy Lerner, KF0AFQ. We had there at the facility there at the Brighton Boulevard's industry building, and Troy really provided us with a great facility there, and hope that we can get access to that again in the future. Worked out extremely well. Some of our VE team consisted of Daron, K1DBC, Bill Rogers, W2OS, and myself. But great results, and it was definitely great being able to get together and have some of the club members be able to have an eye-to-eye gathering. So that's it, and we'll be looking forward to hearing these new hams, and hopefully they will join us in the club. AA0JK, back to net control.
Very good, Fred. Good news, and congratulations to 5 hams that got their license. Glad to hear that, and good job for the VE team. Appreciate that, and sound like you had good facility as well. So appreciate the announcement. Always like good news like that. All right, that's the only ones I had indicated that had traffic when they checked in. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call out.
Net Control, KD0DUJ.
Yes, Chris, go ahead.
I'd be more than happy to help Linda with any other, like say, setting up her radios, or if she gets into digital voice, I'd be the one to talk to because I've been doing it a while, and I'd be more than happy to teach her. KD0DUJ, back to net.
All right, Chris, appreciate your offer. Make one more call. Anyone else have any comments, information, or business for the net? Please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now.
This is KE0TKI, Linda. I just purchased a digital radio, and I thought I should get used to the ones I have before I continue on with the digital, but I certainly will be needing some help to set that radio up, so I appreciate your offer. Thank you.
Negative KD0DUJ. Am I clear to go direct with CKI?
Yes, Chris, go ahead.
CKI from DUJ. Yeah, as soon as you get ready for digital voice, let me know, because I'm one of the Elmers on the DRC Learning Net, and I'll be on the meeting this Wednesday, on the virtual meeting, so I will be more than happy to help you. KD0DUJ back to net.
All right. Thank you, Chris. And I'll now review any upcoming, for next weekend's contests and any upcoming Hamfests. I don't have anything on Hamfest tonight. Hopefully I'll have something here this next week, and we'll pass that on to you. Contest coming up this next weekend, kind of slim list tonight, which is unusual. They usually bury me, but we got a short list tonight. So first one I've got is the BARTG RTTY Sprint, and that begins on January the 23rd at 1200 hours Zulu, goes through January 24th until 1200 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that is a digital contest. And the other is the UK/EI DX contest. That begins on January 23rd at 1200 hours Zulu, goes through January 24th until 1200 hours Zulu. That is on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a CW contest. A couple of reminders. High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon early, with early check-ins beginning at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on a 40-meter band. And also the Salvation Army Saturnet. They meet at 1500 hours Zulu, that's 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and they meet Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs. 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, a 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, a 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, a 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, a 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, a 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brunmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PO tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PO tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency that have different frequency propagation, we ask that you monitor the frequency to assure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX, node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. Repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital-only repeater. And each repeater requires 100 hertz PL tones for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6-meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with a required 107.2 hertz PL tone.
W0TX repeater.
Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB. And at this time, I'd again like to welcome and thank Linda, KE0KCI, for checking in tonight. And she's welcome to join us every Sunday night. And I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week. 7-3. Tonight we had a total of 37 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:12, and repeaters available for regular use. This is K0TR, your net control station, and I'll be clear. Just stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And it's K02R. I am clear. Good evening.